tell people you get what you get and you get what you research for. So if you don't do the proper due diligence and doing the own research on what you put in your body or even the content you consume, you won't really comprehend what I'm trying to sell you. Or you might not even comprehend anything that I have at the table. Not necessarily trying to sell you something, but there's more than mushrooms than getting high. There's more than mushrooms than growing the mushrooms. Mushrooms taught me that your biggest person out there is you. You're your biggest person out there.
Hello, Zack. It's nice to see you.
Greetings, Tim Ryan. I'm
We've
Zack
had to
Miller.
record the past couple episodes due
Don't
to
be telling people
scheduling.
inside baseball. Don't tell people inside baseball, Tim.
But we're live,
Rule number one.
live and in color. It's nice to see you. Just seems like it's been a while,
Yeah, I kind of forgot how to do this. Can you teach
right?
me?
There you go. Yeah.
Tonight is a big
Gearing
night.
up.
Night that you and I have been waiting for a while. We've talked about this in general for a while. Savannah
Yeah.
Bananas coming to town. We're going. We got a group of 5. Party of 5.
Party of 5. Yeah.
Shall be a
It'll
good
be
time.
fun. I think that. Yeah.
I'm excited to see like what their activations and their experiences are really like live. I've read at least one of Jesse Cole's books, so really appreciate him. What about you?
Yeah. Same deal. I think that I really appreciate how you can take something that can be viewed as dry or boring, per viewership or whatever, possibly going down and then flipping the script to make it more engaging, especially to those that may not be interested in it at all. I think that the Savannah Bananas did that. I think that Live Golf did that. I mean, like, I watched Live Golf. I watched the tournament that they had in Northern Virginia for just a few minutes. But it's just wild to see like golfers wearing shorts, music blaring in the
Oh,
background.
so they do things differently. I didn't know
Oh
that. Okay.
yeah. And so like there's no cut. It's just it's so again very very different in terms of to shake things up. And Savannah
Interesting.
Bananas.
That kind of reminds me of this event August 21st at the Sandler Center
Yeah.
in the beach.
What's going on the August 21st?
Well, if you know about Savannah Bananas and you like that experience, how could you take a pitch competition and Savannah Banana arise it?
Yeah.
I guess you'll have to go to innovate757.org/Startup World Cup VA, grab your ticket, find out what the hype is all about.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. We are in the thick of that for sure.
But we will give today's guest a break because she has a vendor show and unable to make it. But she's the only one we will give a pass to.
Yeah.
And honestly, maybe she shouldn't. Maybe she should cancel her vendor show and show up anyway.
She at the same time, yeah, she did commit to ensuring 5 of her friends will go in place of her. So
good, make it 10, and I'm okay. 5 for each of us.
That's right.
Mushroom lady.
Hey, fun guys.
Fun guys. Oh wow.
We're already starting, Jesse. Like this is gonna be a lot of fun. Zach, do you like mushrooms?
Okay, so here's a fun story about me and mushrooms. So
oh Lord.
Oh, it ain't that kind of story. Don't you worry. First of all, Lionel Sapp is the one who introduced us. Said, hey, Lionel.
Shout out to Lionel.
Said, hey, Lionel.
Yep, shout out to Lionel.
With the Digital Builders. What is he? Lionel the Builder, something like that?
Yep.
I said, hey, I need, you got any cool people? He said, I got someone. I got a mushroom lady. That's that. Say.
I told Tia this is going to be low pressure environment.
Say less. Yeah. So, do I like mushrooms? Never ate mushrooms growing up. My buddy James Parker, who you have met, Tim, that was mullet guy at my 30th birthday. He and I would cook a lot in college. We had a 5-burner grill, huge, monstrous. I also had side plates. How did I get a 5-burner grill? Well, I go to Target the first week of school to get a smaller grill. The smaller grill is $100. The 5-burner grill is like $110. I was like, screw it. I'm buying the big one.
$10 more.
Buy the big one.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have like parties of food, like big, like, you know, you go to like Sam's Club, Costco, get the big ass pork loins and stuff. We used to have all that in there. James then goes, let me introduce mushrooms to you. He gets this tin foil, 1,400 mushrooms on there, probably just white mushrooms. Cut them up.
Yeah.
No, nothing fancy. He ain't fancy. Puts them in there, stick of butter, tried it. I was like, okay, I
get in my belly.
I think I can do this. So that's my experience with mushrooms. Never again, never since. Kidding. I like mushrooms. I think they're cool.
Yeah. Pizza, burgers, steak.
No.
Oh yeah, pile them on.
So weird. So you won't put that on. You don't like a salad, but you'll eat a vegetable.
I'll eat salad. It's just, my thing is
you won't.
like
No, you won't. No,
I don't like salad either. Don't feel bad. I used to be a
Yeah.
vegetarian. I can't. It's the lettuce.
It's just.
I saw
one
him
thing
take
that I was
lettuce out of the sandwich last week. You
I
eat
just,
mushrooms?
I
for
mean,
real,
man,
bro?
I'm a meat and potatoes guy through and through, and throw some mushrooms on that meat while you're at it. We're good.
That's good.
Tia, how did you meet Lionel?
So I met Lionel, I want to say through Instagram. He has his digital builders with the control, alt, and play. And so he wanted me to be a part of his not a vending series, but the control, alt, play. And when I pulled up, it was an amazing experience. It was like red carpet. We had interviews going on. People was actually engaging. There was a band. It was amazing. It was nice. I met Lionel. That conversation was had at the BlackBrand building during my accelerator cohort. And I think that's where I met Ryan too.
Yeah. That's
Why does
right.
everyone call you Ryan, Tim?
I'm the man with two first names.
I just realized that it definitely says Tim Ryan. That's cool.
But
That's
You can't
really
go wrong.
cool.
You can't
Tim
go wrong.
Ryan Tim.
I answer to both.
Oh, well, it is confusing because
My handle. Yeah.
Ryan
TNT. Yeah.
I blame you, Mr. Ryan.
Well, this is the first time that my handle is publicly next to my name, but it happens all the time. It's cool. How did you get introduced to mushrooms, Tia?
So back in 2020, I had lost my father. And when I tell you I needed some type of healing, I needed it. So I started growing the lion's mane because I heard it's good for depression and anxiety. And so once I started growing the mushrooms, I realized that it took my focus off of my grief and it really made me narrow into like my inner workings of self. So really helping me find my own balance within myself, helping me find my balance with the relationships outside of like intimacy, but like friendships, my mom, my cousins, and my aunts and stuff. Just helping me connect with the oneness, I want to say. And then with after the lion's mane, that's when I started growing my good friend Rishi here. And I can tell you each mushroom kind of taught me its own secret message for me. Like lion's mane taught me that you can do whatever you can, but just make sure that you're at one with yourself. You can do anything if you can put your mind to it, but make sure you are at one with self. Rishi taught me that it's really all about balance and making sure the inner workings are right before you even leave the house. Because if your mind is not right before you leave the house, you don't know what you're really giving to people. Someone who grows my own products and transmute those products into teas, powders, and supplements, I want to make sure that I'm the best that I can be at all times. So my products are the best. And so when people are taking it, they're taking the best thing. So
I dig that. Either of you, have you seen Fantastic Fungi on Netflix?
yes, I cried. I was on shrooms when I watched it though, and I cried.
Dude, it's crazy. It's a documentary about
What's it called?
mushrooms.
Fantastic Fungi.
Yeah. And but like the crazy thing is, man, like boggled my mind is like they talk to and communicate with one another through their root system.
Yup, it's called the mycelial network. And when I say the mycelial network is the original World Wide Web, so they talk through exchanging nutrients and different type of signals to the plants, the trees, and other mushrooms around. And so it's mainly the mycorrhizal mushrooms that do this. Those are the mushrooms that you find growing on the ground. So the Mario mushroom, which is the Amanita, that's the classic mycorrhizal mushroom I like to use for example. Then you got portobellas, those are mycorrhizal mushrooms because they're found growing on the ground as well. And those mushrooms are really good for the pathway communication with the trees and plants in nature. It's amazing.
Early 2020, March 2020, when the COVID was like, this is Monday of Cocoa. People weren't afraid yet. People were still like, no, there's like one person in America, whatever. I go to have a meeting in downtown Norfolk with my buddy Mark Marling, went on his podcast. And he's just telling me about this mushroom coffee. I'm like, oh, interesting. And I believe
In
that's the first time I ever.
2020 is very interesting.
Well, are you saying like I'm a late adopter? Is that? Because I felt some like.
You're early.
Yeah.
Oh, so okay. So I can't remember if I had it or not. Four Sigmatic was the company.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
they
now
advertise
I'm
on
getting
Rogan quite a bit.
Okay, and so now I'm getting ads for this Rise thing, and I've been interested in it. I think my wife recently said, "Hey, have you heard of it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I heard about it." So I texted my buddy Mark Marling a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "Cool." I just think that the universe is telling me that maybe I need to try a little bit of this, because apparently mushroom coffee. I don't know if you've done it, Tim. It's supposed to, it's supposed to be better than regular coffee, and have better for you, better effects.
I hear that a lot. I've not tried it
Caffeine
though.
is dull anyways. It's 2020. We're in the 2020s now. You just caffeine, add a little more to your caffeine. Get some
We're closer to
cordyceps.
we're closer to 2050 than we are to the year 2000. How's that for crazy?
Oh my goodness.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
I don't believe that's true. We have to finish this year for that to be.
I'm doing the math
past,
in my head.
We're in July.
I think you got to get through the whole year. I don't believe you. I think your math is slightly off by about 5.5 months. But I could be wrong.
I don't want to know what the world looks like in 2050.
Well, if you've ever watched Will Smith's hits iRobot, expect it to look like that.
No, we don't want it. We're supposed to prevent that.
Thank you. All these people want it. Will Smith tried telling us, then he even told us again, I'm telling you, y'all need to worry.
I guess my biggest question is who are the people determine what's healthy mushrooms and what are the poisonous mushrooms that are going to make you feel bad? I don't want to be. There was probably some really sick people that had to figure all that stuff out.
Oh yeah, those people are called mycologists, and like I tell anybody, because I'm a diehard forager. I tell anybody, if you have to question or even think to fathom that you don't know what it is, for the love of God, do not put it in your mouth. Don't. We have AI, we got Google. You can take a picture and try to figure it out, but if you naturally look at it and you have to think about it, don't put it in your mouth. Don't.
Right.
But if you do want a quick little test to see if the mushrooms that you taste, that the mushrooms that you have are poisonous, the poisonous mushrooms do have a slight little nutty taste afterwards, like a little peanut taste to it afterwards. Because I wanted to see what a poisonous mushroom tastes like. When we say poisonous, it's usually like dysentery. You'll get severe nausea, a very bad upset stomach, extreme diarrhea, which I didn't know extreme diarrhea was a thing until I actually Googled what is extreme diarrhea. And yeah, that's the thing. And so yeah, it's like Oregon Trail. When I talk about mushrooms, I feel like I'm playing the game Oregon Trail, even though I never played that game because I'm not that old. But yeah, it's Oregon Trail.
Well, I was watching
dysentery.
I was watching a season of Alone, and this guy found some mushrooms, and he was pretty sure that they were not poisonous. I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to roll the dice on something like that.
And they were
He ended up okay.
poisonous?
They were not.
Oh.
He was good.
And some
Speaking
people
of
classify,
no, speaking of craziness from mushrooms potentially, Tim had asked me about this scene in a TV show, and I hadn't seen it yet, so I had to
Wait, can I
Google it
guess
without.
the TV show?
Sure.
Is it Last of Us?
No.
Okay.
Correct channel though, I think. Something to do with this band, and I watched some of it last night just to get the vibe of what he was telling me, and they could have been on some poisonous mushrooms.
Well, like, who was the first person to like eat mushrooms off of cow poop and be like, hey, let's give this a go?
Christopher Columbus.
Christopher Columbus, that makes a lot of sense. That explains why the western route to Asia ended up over here in America.
Maybe he was on mushrooms.
Because he was high on his mind.
This show has gone off the rockers. All right.
Some people
15
consider the psychedelic mushrooms poisonous, which is funny because if you read some mushroom books, they'll be like, oh yeah, penis envy is classified as a poisonous mushrooms. And it's like, wait a minute. No, it's if you don't want to get high off of mushrooms, then yes, that's poisonous because nobody really wants to sit here and hallucinate when that's not the intentions. But for those people who see some type of healing in those mushrooms, I think we need to properly label all things that are poisonous, all things that are hallucinogenic or psychoactive as hallucinogenic or psychoactive and not just poisonous because it's stereotypical.
Because it's the psilocybin that is the ingredient in mushrooms that is the hallucinogen. Is that right?
Yes, it is. That is the active ingredient that makes you hallucinate in mushrooms. Well, it's psilocybin in mushrooms, and when we eat it, our body digests it and it turns into psilocin, and then that's when we start having a psychoactive experience.
But there's a lot of research right now about like real benefits of that from like a PTSD with military, like just really getting over traumatic experiences, that there's some of the benefits of that.
You know what's crazy about all this stuff though? Even like ayahuasca or whatever it's called. I don't ask me how to spell it. Like people have such like an interesting like first thought of it. And it's just like same thing with like people who like there's this guy who the guy who sold Stripe, I think his name's Brian Williams, maybe. He's like trying to anti-age and stuff. And people's first like thought on all of these things is like, that's wrong. You're an idiot.
Right.
How dare you do that? And I'm just like, first of all, like let them be them. Let them try it. They're doing it in their own vein.
Yeah.
Just because it's not for you. But it's like, but then you just say like, well, all these healing things, it's like, well, we talk about this world who is in more pain than ever, probably. And here's this thing that we've been so frowned upon. And then it's like, well, that's bad. So it's like, well, why is it bad? You don't even know why it's bad, but a version of it you'll eat. So it's like, it's just very weird how we're so like against something without really knowing anything about it.
Blame the government.
So quickly.
Blame the government for the reason why you're against it. Blame the government for the reason why we don't know much about it. And blame the government for the reason there's only one type of mushroom being sold in most grocery stores. It's portobellas. Even the white button mushrooms, that's a portobello at a different stage of its life. The large cap mushrooms you see being sold with no stem, just the caps, those are just portobello mushrooms. And I honestly think it's because here in this country, they don't want people to really get healing from the food that they eat. Because if that was the choice, when it comes to mushrooms in grocery stores, we would have more than just one mushroom being sold to us and repackaged 1,000 million different ways. You will
Okay, so let's
mane.
deeper into that then. Is it not the government? Then you think it's actually pharmaceutical? You think it's actually like the medicine companies that are doing that?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, I mean, I don't study medicine. I don't study hospitals and things like that. But from a high level view, it's interesting to see someone like Mark Cuban come in and he has like this new drug company, this new prescription company. Yeah. I think it's a very small percent. What's it called? Cost Plus?
Cost Plus drugs. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think the the genesis is basically, here's the cost of it. There's a slight markup plus a shipping fee so that it's affordable for everyone. I don't know. I don't know why that's such a bad thing. Like when you go to like Rite Aid or Walgreens or whatever, Wally World, and they're like, here's your prescription, even with insurance, and like it's $4,000. And you're like, huh?
Yeah.
Like this pill is this big. Like, give me a
Yeah.
break.
And you
It's
got to
very,
take 2 of them twice
and
a
different
day.
people have different prices.
Forever.
That's the crazy thing. A cup of
That's
water at
one of
the
the
hospital is
reasons.
$19,000.
That's one of the reasons why I'm scared. One of the many reasons why I'm scared to take medicine, especially prescribed medicine, is why are there so many companies selling the same cure, but it's not trustworthy and it's scary. And more people need to ask those questions, Zach.
Yeah.
Well, not to
Why?
mention, just think about the COVID times, right? Where it was all this money went into finding a cure or a shot for it, and then all these pharmaceutical, medical, insurance, all these companies get all this money. Then all of a sudden they have all these ads on TV, and it's basically like, this is odd. Like we paid for all that. No one had a free shot, but just odd. Apologies for jumping on there, Tim.
Yeah. No, it's I mean, that's my thing. Like it was, I don't know how the phrase goes, but it's something like either make time to work out now or make time for doctor's appointments later. And so
Yes.
like that's my whole deal is like, I will be 52 and when I go to the doctor's office for like an annual checkup and they're like, and who's your pharmacist? I'm like, I don't have a pharmacist. I don't have a pharmacy. And they look at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, nor do I intend to have one anytime soon because
Good,
it's like,
Tim.
well, I mean, like me as a business guy, when you think about like prescription drugs and pharmaceutical companies, it's just the only thing that I hear is lifetime value because you're going to be on this drug for the rest of your life. There's no better business to be in terms of like what is the lifetime value of a customer, and like so I just don't. I want to avoid that at all costs.
That's smart.
Friend of the program, Michelle Bates King North. I never knew she had that long of a name. Congratulations, Michelle. See you in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Start World Cup. She goes, "Hi, Tia!" Exclamation point. Love your energy and your knowledge on all things mushrooms. Now here's the fun part. Have you ever been mushroom hunting? If so, where's the
Yes.
best place to go and when?
So we call it foraging or foray. Up north they call it forays. Down here we call it foraging. And I want to say the best place to go foraging would be start in your backyard, start in your front yard, right? Start at home, and then if you ever enjoy going on walks in the wilderness, you want to look for places that have a lot of leaves and branches on the ground, and then always pay attention to the trees because trees have turkey tail mushrooms. Like if you're in VA, you probably seen a turkey tail mushroom and didn't even realize it. I have a bag of turkey tail mushrooms somewhere over here, but you probably seen it and just didn't realize it. Mushrooms are very common. It's because they don't really teach mushroom or mycology in school. We only know the classic cap and stem mushroom. But when you see like these are cordyceps, and I go cordyceps out of rice, sterilized rice, liquid culture, and a lot of humidity. But if you was to find this in the ground, it would be growing out of a caterpillar, kind of like this. And yeah, you wouldn't know what you were looking at. And then 9 times out of 10, you'll probably step on it. And then you
So
got lion's mane.
for those listening, it almost looked like a pile of cooked spaghetti noodles that have dried. I mean, it's just that's interesting.
I love it. People make broth out of the cordyceps mushrooms. It's really good. And then lion's mane is a cypertropic mushroom. Cypertropic means that you'll find it growing on the side of trees. So,
So
yup,
you
And
like
that
you
grate
almost looks
that?
like
like, huh?
Is that like Parmesan? You like grate that? Like how do you?
So, what I like about lion's mane is the texture of it. People use it for a seafood substitute, and it's like crab meat kind of. So
it
we
almost
pull
looks like
it.
cauliflower.
Oh, it does look
Yes,
like cauliflower.
yes.
Yeah. So how like I don't know if that's the right word. Like, is the viscosity of that hard to pull apart, or is it pretty easy?
It's really soft.
Oh, that's soft.
Soft.
Yeah.
It's spongy. And then let me get you another one. and it has these little hairs on them.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
when
see,
I
the hairs are where I
know.
got. Yeah, that's gonna be a no for me. I don't like hair.
See, if and I tell people all the time, if you have a texture problem, mushrooms might not be the thing for you. But there's things like powders, teas, and supplements because they are beneficial. Because some people do not like how lion's mane feel, and they're very spongy. They hold a
Ooh,
lot of water in it. Yeah, they hold a lot of water in it. So
Oh wow.
ooh, squirting.
So
yeah.
you squeezed it like an orange and liquid came out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
What are so get into some of the benefits of mushrooms.
Okay, so when it comes to lion's mane, we it's really good for anxiety, depression, memory, focus, and concentration, and it's really good for your gut buddies in your stomach. Our stomach and our intestines are our second brain, and it's very important that we practice mindfulness throughout our whole entire body. So lion's mane is good for connecting the neurons in our brain to help with a better gut, which is very important here in America
Gut
because
health is
every
really, really important.
it is. It is. I learned through lion's mane that gut health helps out with a better mental, better sleep, just better overall anything. And then lion's mane is really good for your kidneys too.
Hmm.
Yup. And what else I got here?
Where are you getting this data? Where are you getting these data points from?
Oh well, yeah.
like what
How
you
did
just
you
said?
start
Like,
learning? You seem
yeah.
you're like you know it.
So I always start, I'm old school. I start with a book because I didn't
Hmm.
find any mushroom growing classes. I didn't have anybody that could teach me how to grow mushrooms or even the benefits or the science behind it. So I bought books, I used the internet and Reddit. Reddit taught me a lot. Reddit taught me so much that I honestly forgot that Reddit could be used for anything else outside of mushrooms. So yeah. Shout out to Reddit.
Wow.
But mainly
You said, Tim.
books.
I saw you like losing it.
Books are amazing.
Well,
So the
I think that is some people don't even know what books are.
tangible things. We need in order for you to
What are
have
they
a
called?
tangible experience, you need a tangible thing. So I'm really big on books. So you can turn the page, I can highlight it. Somebody be like, oh, you're wrong. This, that, and the third. Well, no, Paul Statement actually said in chapter 2, page 73, that we supposed to use hardwood or softwood pellets to grow our oyster mushrooms because they're very resilient and they
All
don't
right.
matter.
So with that, Zach, you would over in the background over Tia's right shoulder. That is her grow tent.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I was gonna ask about that. Is that like a sauna thing?
This is a AC Infinity Grow Tent. I used to have one that would cover up this whole entire wall here, but due to oyster mushrooms producing so many mushroom spores, my mom actually got spores in her lungs. So mama got sick, we had to downsize. I got my reishi mushrooms colonizing in this tent right here. And shout out to AC Infinity because it keeps all the light in, it keeps all the moisture in, it keeps everything in. So, but yeah, these are my ciliated grains and hardwood pellets, aka fruiting block. I put this together so I could make more reishi mushrooms. If you can see, we got some growing on the side here, and you can kind of see through the
How
back.
long is the growth cycle?
Woo! I made this. It took 3 weeks for me to myceliate grains, and then it took me until February, right, to get this. And this is still growing. And I want to say I made this block February the 2nd. I made all these blocks in February. And so what I do is when it comes to reishi, because the everything is beneficial when it comes to the reishi mushroom. The fruiting block is beneficial and the fruiting bodies is also beneficial. But because I'm not like those other mushroom companies, I'm not going to sell you my ciliated grains and tell you it's reishi mushrooms. I take the precious time of harvesting all my mushrooms and regrowing and regenerating the process so you can get 100% fruiting bodies every time. So,
Wow. So this is like so from the time that you start to the time that you actually transact a purchase could take
woo.
a long time. 6 by 7 months? I don't know. What
About all in all, 6 to 7 months, because it's gonna take me 2 to 3 weeks to myceliate the grains. Myceliating the grains is very important because with grain spawn, you can make a lot of fruiting blocks with it. And then you have to wait for the grain spawn and your substrate to myceliate as well. And then you have to wait for them to start producing fruit. And when it comes to long, steady growing like reishi mushrooms, a lot of mushroom growers might opt out of growing reishi because they take forever to grow. I would rather grow reishi mushrooms because they're extremely beneficial and the people in my community need it, so I will always grow it. And two, because it takes a long time for it to grow, I can grow some cordyceps somewhere else, or I can regenerate lion's mane, or I can grow oyster mushrooms, and I'm still waiting for my reishi mushrooms to grow.
Well, I
where
mean,
have
it
you
sounds like you're a farmer.
I'm a mushroom farm.
Yeah, I mean, just and farmers. I mean, that stuff just takes a while, right? I mean,
Well, I think
Takes
that yeah,
time and
I guess the
care.
that's why if the
key
crop gets
is
screwed up, you're screwed, right? And that's why they're
Oh,
so serious about
well,
all that
yeah,
kind of
you got
stuff.
to
But
keep that thing going. Yeah,
and that
any
happens.
hmm.
That happens a lot. I want to say growing mushrooms, the biggest competitor I have is another fungus deciding to reside in my tent, and it will contaminate my mushrooms, and I don't sell anything that's contaminated. So, if I see any signs of black mold, trichonomia mold, or lipstick mold, I will throw the whole entire block away. And sometimes when you opt out of throwing stuff away because it's contaminated, you lose profit. You lose so much. But it's the name of the game. It's the game I chose.
What who typically purchases your mushrooms?
Oh, my target audience is very broad, but I want to say people over the age of 25 who already know the healing of mushrooms, because I don't have to spend my time trying to convert a customer. The people who are already taking mushrooms and the people who are on, I want to say the company like Rise or Magic Mushrooms, they twin to switch over with Southern Bell Fungus, because you can actually call me and I might be literally knee deep in mushrooms. So like, and then Rise actually reached out for me to work for them, which I found hilarious. I didn't know.
Rise, the powder company.
They're looking for mycologists. And my thing is,
Hmm.
I don't want to talk bad about nobody, but my thing is, if you
Oh,
are a
you know,
mushroom company,
whenever someone starts that, that means they're about to say something bad about
but
somebody.
it's just, how are you a mushroom company looking for mycologists? How did you get here? Rise is a big company. I feel like they should have a
Maybe
larger form than I have.
maybe game knows game, and they realize that your game is strong.
Yeah.
Was it a quick no? Did you consider it? Like, how did that work?
I didn't even answer.
Oh, damn. You
Hmm.
just ghosted.
Yeah.
You're one of those
Yeah.
people.
Because I was like, what? My competition? My competition? My
I think
competition?
that's a great validation, though.
It is. It is.
And so,
So you're,
when people purchase your mushrooms, what do they typically use them for? And like,
Oh,
how
ooh.
do they test them?
People usually I want to say, so my top selling mushroom line would be my cordyceps. People use cordyceps because it helps regulate with the issues they have with diabetes. If you have hypertension problems, it helps out with that. It helps out regulate the hormones in men and women. It will raise your testosterone and lower your estrogen if you're a man, and if you're a woman, it will raise your estrogen and balance out your testosterone levels if you're a woman, and I love that. And people who are constantly in the gym, they use it for pre-workout.
Hmm.
People use lion's mane products, or the business focused savvy people who don't mind sitting down, focusing on a task, and handling things out like that. Um, the people who buy cordyceps for me have a very active lifestyle, and at the end of the day, they just want something that can take the edge off and not have any chemicals and not get high. So I will always recommend my reishi mushrooms for those people. If you want a nice little nightcap, relax, get you some reishi mushrooms.
What's the thing that people take to sleep?
Melatonin.
Is it melatonin? Okay, so like
Yeah.
if they could take something like this instead,
Yes.
interesting.
I used to take
But it doesn't have the same
melatonin.
effect in the morning from my coffee. Like, okay, so I have been looking at this, right? I feel like I'm over the cusp now, right? I'm ready to make a purchase, right? And so, what do you anticipate me feeling when I do this compared to the nightcap difference? Like, is it going to make me sleepy?
It's
Or some
you.
mushrooms make you sleepy and other ones make you do other things?
Well, some mushrooms put you at a more relaxed state of mind. People call reishi the Xanax of the woods. And I tell you, if I make a hot tea of it in the middle of the day, I don't want to do anything. It's not that I can't do anything. I don't want to do anything. I'm too relaxed. I'm good. Like I would rather just sit here and play the game or watch TV with my mom. I'm good. So I prefer taking reishi because I go to bed like around 8 or 9 o'clock. So my wind down time is like 5 to 7. So like around 6 o'clock, I'm making my reishi mushroom tea. By 8 o'clock, I'm in the bed, like just waiting
Hmm.
for my eyes to close. And sometimes the sun don't even be down. So
Not at 8 o'clock. Interesting. This is quite interesting. So how do you figure out the business aspect of that? How do you figure out that people want to buy it? How do you figure out where to find those people out? You said the vendor shows were something that has been good for you. Like, how do you figure out what shows are there? Is there any pushback because of what you sell at places like this? Like, how do you go through the business aspect of this?
I want to say shout out to BlackBrand and Brian and his accelerator program. Because if it wasn't for that, I would still be trying to find my voice, my audience, and a whole lot of other stuff when it comes to Southern Bell Fungus as a business. I do get pushed back a lot because everybody thinks I'm selling drugs and I'm not selling drugs. I don't grow anything psychoactive. So that's the problem that I have when it comes to vending at certain places is that I feel like I have to overly prove myself and my products to let them know like, "Hey, I don't have anything psychoactive." And that's kind of hard to prove in a community that doesn't quite understand anything outside of drugs and psychedelics when it comes to mushrooms. So it's a struggle. Even in the bank, it was hard for me to get a business bank account because they thought I was selling drugs and growing drugs. And I was showing the dude at the bank, like, no, you see the fresh produce box, you see the video. I'm going into this restaurant. The restaurant is called Conscious Planet. They're a vegan restaurant. I have vegan food. That's what I'm growing. And the dude was like, well, I'm gonna just talk to my supervisor about it. He was only gone for about 10 seconds, came back and was like, yeah, my boss said no, she's never heard of any of the mushrooms you talked about. And quite frankly, that puts you at risk of having your other account shut down if you're blatantly selling drugs. I'm like, I'm not blatantly selling drugs. That was a time. So when I became a BlackBrand member and I was going to some of their networking things, I noticed that they had Truist there. And so I was talking to the young man from Truist, and he was like, what? I've heard of lion's mane mushrooms. Yeah, girl, you good over here. I'm gonna have my people contact you and you gonna get you a business bank account. And I did. So I want to say 2024, like December 2024 was the first time of me having a business bank account, and I've been LLC since 2021.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's been interesting with the mushrooms.
I see a lot of stuff on your website is sold out. Is that are you trying to increase production or
Yes. Yes, an increase in production is needed, which is why I'm trying to find the proper finances so I can build the ultimate mushroom shed in the backyard because I don't like selling out. I like to have an abundance because this might be bad for business, but I like to give things out for free and to the communities who don't have access to what I have. And I think there's no community that has access to lion's mane, reishi, cordyceps. There is not, unless you're in like Japan or something.
Hmm. Well, yeah. So the southernbellfungus.com
Mm-hmm.
is the website for people to. Yeah, and I suppose that once I don't know. I suppose you have a whole production schedule that you have in terms of you have to constantly be like you any delay is like a day for day delay to be able to sell it.
Yeah, it sucks. So let's just say if I don't harvest the mushrooms in time and I have a vending opportunity on a Saturday and I was supposed to harvest the mushrooms on a Monday and for whatever reason I didn't and they get harvested on Wednesday, I still have to dry those mushrooms out, which takes 48 hours, so I
Mm.
can turn them into teas, powders, and supplements. And then sitting here I used to grind the mushrooms down by hand with the little bowl and thing. That was a
Oh
stupid
wow.
idea. I didn't know. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do like a traditional woman.
Yeah.
No, idiot. I bought an industrial grinder, and I'll tell you, my life has been smooth sailing ever since.
Wow. So do you go to like farmers markets or things like that to yeah, in addition to your e-commerce site?
I love farmers markets. Farmers markets is how I get to talk to the people. I get to
Yeah.
show them. I get to show them my stuff. I tell them, hey, you can touch the mushrooms that are on this plate is to touch. They're not to eat. So if you want to know the texture of what you're buying and how it smells, pick it up, smell it. Don't put it in your mouth, but you can touch it, smell it,
Yeah.
feel it.
That's amazing. What going back to Michelle's initial question, outside of Virginia, where is like the mushroom capital that you would like to forge like
I
around the world?
The mushroom capital is in Pennsylvania, and I have a
Is it
brother and
really?
a niece. Yes, and I've never been to Pennsylvania. I'm missing out on the fungi. Honestly, I'm missing out. New York and the Catskill Mountains have an amazing mushroom community when it comes to foraging. And they have a broad, because they're at a higher elevation than us, they have
Hmm.
a broad span of mushrooms up north. Even
What
in Richmond. Richmond is a good place too.
oh really? I for some I want to say that I heard like France was also like known for mushrooms as well.
They
But I could
do. They have overseas in the UK, France, they have a lot of mushroom growing courses that I took just so I could further my knowledge because I couldn't find that stuff in America.
yeah. Is that because it's just a darker, damper climate there?
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah, that I guess I'm curious. When you see that emoji, like with the or the Super Mario Brothers, what kind of mushroom is that?
That is an amanita mushrooms. Amanita mushrooms are psychoactive, but they're not psychoactive with
Oh,
psilocybin. They're psychoactive with another compound that I can never remember it. But their psychoactive effects, in my opinion, aren't as strong, but they are beneficial. Some people take amanita mushrooms for relaxation. It helps put them to sleep, and it does get you high a little bit, but it's way less than weed if we can compare it to anything. So,
hmm. Yeah, I think that's just got to be super frustrating in terms of how quickly, especially in today's world, how quickly people are to judge and or make a judgment, and then the whole education process that you have to go through because you're early. I mean, if Zach was early in 2020, we're in 2025 right now. I mean, it's just
See, I feel like I was
it's
late.
still pretty early. Yeah.
I think you're early. If you're hearing about mushroom coffee in 2020, because I feel like America had a mushroom boom in 2022, 2023. I didn't start growing my own mushrooms in 2020, but I had to dig on the internet to find
Hmm.
information. I had to dig on the internet to even find decent YouTube videos on other people cultivating mushrooms. And now all of a sudden I'm legit watching YouTube videos of how to start and run your own mushroom farm. and start your mushroom business. And I was like, well, I wish you guys was here when I was in 2020 struggling, trying to figure it out. What the heck is mycelium? What is that? So
Just,
What are we looking up?
I'm looking because my wife just she got some mushrooms from the old Amazon, and I was looking to see
The forest, the rainforest, or the website?
what actual product it was that she
That
purchased.
that was a great joke, and no one laughed.
Mm.
I didn't want to laugh because what if people would have said the Amazon for real, for real? I'm like, oh shit. I need to see
Yeah,
these.
I'm extremely disappointed in both of you for not
And
laughing at that.
I'm sorry, I was in the process of reading and
Books, right?
no, reading the product description, and I feel like I know a little bit more because it's today's show.
Yes.
Lion's mane, yeah. Wait, turkey? Did you mention turkey tail?
Yes. I'm really tempted to go get a bag of turkey tail mushrooms and my iPad charger. So, turkey tail mushrooms are very, very useful. Some people take it to fight cancers. I made an abstract for this woman because she was telling me about her brain tumor, and she was telling me so she knows the benefits of mushrooms. She was like, "Yes, if you can make me something that has turkey tails, cordyceps, and reishi mushrooms in it, I got you." And I don't grow my own turkey tails because they come in abundance outside. I definitely went to Sandy Bottom here in Hampton and just stole some from a tree and made my own tinctures from it, and I gave them to her. And she's doing tremendously well with that. I don't know if it's shrinking her tumor, but I know her hormone levels and other um medical levels that she has is dropping or increasing the way it needs to. So I'm proud of that.
Hmm. So, what's your plans? Where would you like to take this as this gains more and more popularity and the education process decreases?
So
What's
in the near future, I plan on streaming my growing process because I feel like the streaming world is so interesting. We need more farmers and other people outside of playing the video game all day streaming. And I will play the video game all day too, but we're going to be growing some mushrooms. And then I want to say I will be having my mushroom shed. After I outgrow my mushroom shed, I'm looking to get a warehouse either
She
here
should.
in Norfolk. Either here in Newport News or a warehouse in Norfolk. And then when I get the warehouse, I
Why
want to
not? Why
work.
not both?
Why not both? Why not both? Why not both? So I will start with Newport News and then I'm going to grow to Norfolk. And then I'm going to have my own little tea lounges because I love tea. And who doesn't want a mushroom tea lounge? And it's going to be more than just mushrooms. Get your lavender tea, some chamomile, hibiscus, because I love making tea and I'll sip on tea all day. So,
mm,
Southern Belle Fungus tea.
Wait, hold on a second. We need to do that again full screen.
Southern Belle Fungus tea.
there you go.
Do we have a tagline with it?
Do I have a tagline? I
You
don't.
should.
It
Okay,
used
so
to.
you should do that again and just make up something real quick. We'll
Okay.
start the show with that, maybe.
Okay,
Right?
hold on. Let me think of something. Let me think of something. Okay, I got y'all. I got y'all. Southern Belle Fungus tea. Where beauty meets quality. I need a better tagline. That used to be my slogan, but
Mm,
I don't know. I'm still fine tuning those things.
Yeah, I
I
don't know how
dig
you
it.
like. That was some good,
A little
like,
shimmy,
just
shimmy
good
shake.
shoulder, some good.
Is that a
Some,
shimmy
You seen
shake?
Emperor's New Groove? The movie? Like the old you never seen Emperor's New Groove?
I like chick flicks.
Emperor's New Groove came out in like 2003.
Look,
You've seen Emperor's New Groove.
as an early adopter into the knowledge of mushroom coffee, I feel like I should be given a little bit of a pass on not
Yes,
knowing anything about
yes.
Emperor's Purse or whatever it was called.
My Emperor's You get a
Uh,
pass. You get a pass because you know about mushroom coffee before I even knew about mushrooms. Because I didn't start growing mushrooms until I want to say June of 2020. Like it was deep in the summer.
Well,
Dude,
it seems like you have really embraced the mushroom culture. I'm really quite impressed with
knowledge.
your knowledge about mushrooms as a whole.
Thank you, thank you. And I'm definitely want to increase my knowledge. I tell people all the time, I don't know everything when it comes to mushrooms, but one day I will. But that day has not come yet.
So how do you find like a an organization like BlackBrand? You said great things about Brian Owens. Shout out to Brian Owens.
Shout out to
But how do
Brian.
you how do you find a black brand to help you? Because
This
it's
is
always
interesting.
interesting how like kind of like the same question with Lionel. Like how'd you meet Lionel? Like how did you meet Black Brand so that they could help you? Because obviously it sounds like they're extremely beneficial to your growth and
Yes,
without them.
yes.
And so just making sure that the people who need to know can find out. So how do you find out about an organization like Black Brand? Woo, tongue twister out
So
there.
I know they're BlackBrand on Facebook and on Instagram. I found out about them at the Cousins Festival August last year, which is a crazy story. I don't drink. So when I do drink, I'm drunk. So I was drunk and I'm just walking around the Cousins Festival and I look up and I see this sign and it says Black Brand. And I'm like, well damn, I'm black and I have a brand. So I go over there and I start talking to Brian. And I was like, hey, I'm black and I have a brand. Mind you, I'm drunk. And Brian was like, okay, what's your business? What's your business? And I was like, oh yeah, here it is. I grow mushrooms. And he was like, what? I was like, yeah, I grow mushrooms. Not the kind that get you high. He was like, are you on mushrooms right now? And I said, no, I'm drunk right now. Not on mushrooms. And so he told me about his accelerator program. And then the other thing that Black Brands does. And so I was like, you know what? I have to remember this conversation because it's hard for me to remember things when I'm drunk. Remember this conversation and hopefully remember to tap back in with Black Brands so I can further grow my business because he was naming all these resources and I need it, especially what a bank account. So when I went the next day, because I was drunk that night, the next day I go on Facebook and I look up Black Brand, and that's when I seen I saw the Surge program, I saw the Accelerator program, I saw the Women Who Leads, I saw so many things. I'm just like, and then they've been around for about 8 years, I believe. And I felt so small when I realized that I'm just now getting put on to this. So I'm always trying to tell my entrepreneur like minded friends about Black Brand so they can further their business and grow too, because it's needed.
Okay, there's so much to unpack there. That was an amazing story. Number one is, sounds like maybe you could unpack and meet a lot more people if you drink more and randomly go up to people and decipher their, um, because you're black and I have a brand. I mean, that story in itself is epic. Have you like? Kudos to Brian for still like not being like okay, like
Shout out to
whatever.
Brian for real, because
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
texted him a
what?
minute ago. I was like, "Oh, Tia just said good things about you." That was before this story. Now we get to hear the initial. That's great. Uh, no, I mean, I think it's really cool. And he and I were talking the other day, and it's like these resources weren't available 8, 10, 15 years ago. So
Mm-mm.
for them to be available, that's great. And shout out to what you've been able to do and to Black Brand to seeing you guys get to where you are now. It's pretty cool stuff. Minus
Yes,
the
it
stuff with
is.
your mom and the fungus is growing inside of her because that was crazy too.
What? So
Yeah.
what do you say to the people that give you pushback, looking for science based data?
I tell people you get what you get and you get what you research for. So if you don't do the proper due diligence and doing the own research on what you put in your body or even the content you consume, you won't really comprehend what I'm trying to sell you. Or you might not even comprehend anything that I have at the table. Not necessarily trying to sell you something, but there's more than mushrooms than getting high. There's more than mushrooms than growing the mushrooms. Mushrooms taught me that your biggest person out there is you. You're your biggest person out there. And your biggest enemy is you or another human being. Mushrooms' biggest competition is another fungus infringing on its space, growing on its environment, turning the environment into something that it cannot grow in. So everybody need to do their mushroom research. Even if you don't like mushrooms, do your research on how they grow, how they interact with the environment, and how the environment interacts with them, because we're human beings. Human beings are animals. Animals live in an environment. And if we are not aware and cautious of what our environment is doing to us, it's not going to be good for the children. What about the babies?
Right.
So I don't have any kids, so I always try to, my friends have kids. I don't have kids. And what about them? We got to
What
do
kind of what kind of
future.
mushroom is on your arm?
This is the first psychedelic mushroom I grew. It was a mazatep, which is the name of the species. It is a Mexican P. cubensis. So those spores are from Mexico, and that mushroom changed my life as well. I ate 28 grams of it. And yes, we go balls to the wall. I ate 28 grams of it, and that's when I decided to just go ahead, get my LLC. That's when I decided to stop watching television. That's when I realized that everything I consume on a screen might be smokes and mirrors. Like, this is the smokes and mirrors they talk about. It's not a wizard in a cloak. It's the man on the TV screen trying to tell me that I need to take his medicine so I could not be depressed. And then in the fine print, he gonna say, if you take this medicine, you're gonna have severe diarrhea and contemplation of suicide. Like, so
Interesting. I
yeah.
thought you would have, like, on 28 grams of this would have, learned about a plumber who eats mushrooms to power up, but I guess that's not the case.
That's when I realized the show Smurfs off the 28 grand trip. Smurfs are the psychedelic compound you find inside of mushrooms. They are the same psychedelic blue, right? And they live inside of mushrooms. And then like how mushrooms reproduce is so very complex that on the surface level you really don't know if it's a female, if it's a male. That's why you got all those male smurfs and then you got smurfette, because it really don't matter.
Who knew?
Yeah, that's
Is
what
there,
I
any,
learned.
Not
is,
me.
is there anything you want to talk about that we haven't talked about?
No, and sadly my iPad is on 2% and I want to run and get my charger right quick.
Is that what we're on this? We got one question left.
Okay, one question. We can last for 2% with one question.
Man, you like to live. You flying close to the flame. What where's your favorite place to eat? If there was a food of the region, what is that food? And if we don't have a food, then where is the place that you would like to plug that that people have to try?
Yen Diddy got some really good lamb soya. Get the lamb soya with the fufu. They're gonna look at you like you're crazy because you're not supposed to eat dry food with dry food. You're supposed to eat the fufu with the soups and stuff. Get the lamb soya with the fufu and tell them the mushroom lady sent you, because I love it. I love me some Yen Diddy. And they're located in Virginia Beach.
There you go. The Mushroom Lady, one of the most wild and rambunctious shows we've ever had.
Yeah.
Going into this, I
My
don't think we
mom
saw
is missing
anything there.
out. That's the funny part. If y'all think I'm wild and rambunctious, wait till you meet a woman named Aretha Henderson who quilts
Aretha
and then
Henderson.
she quilts and she plays video games all day.
Well, and she's like on the meta world, so things are crazy. Gee, this has
Do
been
people call you
fantastic.
do people call you the mushroom lady? Is that
Yes.
is that
Branding is important. BlackBrand taught me that.
Well, technically, you being drunk
Yes.
and meeting
Yes.
Brian Owens, you realize you had a brand.
I wasn't going to go to the Cousins Festival at all until one of my homies was like, "You like Erica Badu? Why don't you go to the concert her and Larry June's going?" I'm like, "What? Why don't I?" So
There you go. The rest is history. This
yeah.
has been
Well,
an
I wish
absolute
you
trip.
the very best in your business venture.
thank you. Thank you.
Now we're getting a shout out of the HQ. Love it. Tia, this has been an absolute trip. Thank you for your time today. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Yes.
And see you on the other side.
Awesome.
I will. It was fun talking to you, fun guys. And don't forget, take your mushrooms. Be good boys. Take your mushrooms.
Hey everybody, I'm Tim Ryan, Executive Director of Innovate Hampton Roads, and I'm inviting you to attend the Startup World Cup on August 21st, 5 o'clock, here at Town Center in Virginia Beach.